My next source comes from Dr. Martin Seligman and his lecture on the new era of positive thinking. A brief bio on Mr. Seligman. He was born August 12, 1942. He's an accomplished American psychologist, and his theory of learned helplessness is well known, among psychologists today. He's a professor at the University of Pennsylvania, and he was cleared the president of the United States Psychology Association in 1998. So, a summary of the lecture. Dr. Seligman discusses in his lecture the past, present, and future of psychology and the pros and cons of the diseased mind. And this is the concept of, psychology was made for those who are sick or have a chemical imbalance in their head, and it's not so much for helping those who want to achieve more in their life. And so this was the main belief for the past 60 years. Psychology was based off of the diseased mind model. Because of the model, the science of psychology was developed to classify and understand causality and invent treatments. So that was a pro. We better understood some of the dysfunction and disorders that were going on in some people's head. However, psychologists lost touch with their main objective and forgot about improving normal lives as well as those who needed them. And they forgot about positive intervention. So after Seligman discusses this, he kind of goes in more depth about what positive psychology looks like and what it is in today's day. And there are three different forms of a happy life. He talks about there's a theoretical formula that goes along with this, and he did extensive research on these topics himself. And the research was conducted and recorded at www.authentichappiness.org. So the three happy lives, the pleasant life, PA, is when you put as much positive emotion as you possibly can into anything that you do, and you can amplify those skills. The next is the good life, or engagement, which is pleasure versus flow. And this is when one becomes obsessed or passionate with something, and they forget altogether about feelings, and they just focus on that, and that's another form of happiness. And the last is the meaningful life, which is knowing your strengths and knowing how to use them to help serve a greater purpose. Now, the equation measures life satisfaction and does this through these three happy lives. And it goes based off like this. LS, or life satisfaction, equals PA, the pleasant life, plus engagement, the good life, plus meaning, the meaningful life. Now, PA was the lowest, and it was the margin. The good life scored in the middle, and meaning scored the strongest and most significant for having a life satisfaction. However, it's understood that without all three, you cannot have the full life. And with neither of them, you will have the empty life. In conclusion, he discusses a lot about technology and the 11th reason for optimism, which is technology has taken a turn for the worse nowadays. In Mr. Seligman's eyes, he feels like it's too bashful and too negative. So in order to help the psychology of the world, he would like for technology and psychology to kind of coincide in a more positive fashion and let people use that and basically create a more positive psychology throughout the world using technology the way that it's used today, which makes a lot of sense. So yeah, it has the potential to increase PA, engagement, meaningful life, to make the state of today's psychology good enough, as he states in the video.